What's going on there, everyone? Well, if you go to any right-wing media today, the first thing you will see, New Jersey man claims he was attacked for wearing a MAGA hat. Claims teens shouted F Trump. And, you go to a left-wing, or any, the more liberals, and they don't really mention this at all. And if they do, you have to search for it. You actually have to go down and find it. Let's get into this story. And I'm going to tell you now, I'm not going to pronounce this guy's first name. I just can't do it. I know I'll butcher it, and for his respect, I'm not going to do it. Police are investigating a New Jersey man's claim that he was attacked Tuesday night by nearly 24 people in New York because he was wearing a pro-Trump Make America Great Again hat. Mr. Turan, like I said, I'm not trying to pronounce that first name. Mr. Turan told reporters Thursday that he had just left work around 6:30 p.m. when the alleged attack took place. He claims he was accosted by a group of 18 to 20 people on Canal Street who chanted anti-Trump stuff like F Trump and F you because of his MAGA hat. Is this really where we're coming to, people? Come on. I thought for a little while we were actually starting to get over this. You know? Turan, a resident of Hoboken, told reporters that he didn't get a good look at the suspects, but guessed that they were all around 18 years old. Bunch of young, dumb leftists. It's funny because last night at the Trump rally, which, may I say, was a great one, as usual. But, last night there was a protester holding up some immigration sign, and they ripped, the Trump fans ripped that sign down. Which, they didn't have to rip the sign down. You know, you do have the right to protest. I get that. As long as you're not causing a ruckus, which the guy did start to cause a ruckus. But still, come on, people, look, just let them protest. Who cares? These people are unhinged. Let them do that. I mean, if they're being peaceful for a change, by God, let them do it. But the media is going crazy because apparently some of the Trump fans were looking at the media doing this number. You know, the old cutthroat. Yeah, you probably shouldn't do that. It's not a good look. But it does help show how the people really do see the media as being an enemy now. Because it's mainly a left-wing propagandist machine. And there was an actual study that came out, I want to say it came out yesterday or possibly the day before, about how U.S. and British folks are seeing the media as a problem, because the media is just more people are seeing in America and in Britain that the media is just a left-wing propaganda arm. Really, it's pretty clear to see. I mean, this isn't really news to anybody. Anybody who's a conservative could see this, and some of the more moderate leftists can see this also, because they're getting attacked by the media too, because they don't hold the far left positions that the media tries to prop up. We live in wild times. He said one female flipped his hat while another male pushed him from behind, forcing his head into a scaffolding pole. I mean, look at this guy's face. That's a problem. I used to do fighting. And I can promise you that this guy's going to have some eye damage, like, forever. It's going to be some permanent eye damage, because that is bad. You could see where the blood vessels in his eyes are broken. You know, that's not good. All for wearing a hat? And may I add that this is not a white man. This is a person of color in which they attacked. I'm pretty sure this guy's not far right. He doesn't believe in no ethno state like the crazy far righters, which is a very small percent of people, may I add. The details surrounding the attack remain unclear. An NYPD spokesperson confirmed to Fox News in an email Friday that the police were investigating reports of an assault that took place on Canal Street Tuesday around 6:50 p.m. Police say the victim, 35, reported that he was punched in the back of the head. Turan claimed that he suffered a fracture in his cheek when his face was shoved into a scaffolding pole. The NYPD said Turan refused medical attention on the scene. He shouldn't. But I get it. I probably would have too, to be honest with you. I'm not a big fan of hospitals and doctors and all that whatnot. No particular reason. Turan was corrected by a reporter Thursday after claiming he was attacked Monday night. He again said the incident occurred on Monday, but then said it was Tuesday night when he was corrected. Well, don't break his balls too much. He just got his head bashed a little bit, so that can affect your thought process, especially if he has a concussion. Sometimes you can't think clearly at all. I've had quite a few concussions, and hell, they still affect me to this day. I've had about 9 concussions, though, so yeah. Turan said he went to the hospital the next day when he learned the extent of his injuries. He said he waited because his condition worsened overnight. And that's another thing, people. It's kind of like being in a car accident. When you're in a car accident, right afterwards, your adrenaline's pumping. Your body is in fight or flight type mode. You're not going to feel pain like you normally do. It's always the next day. To anybody who's been in any type of accident, you can attest to that. Because, yeah, the first day you're like, oh, I feel fine. The next day you could barely walk, you're so sore. And it's just like riding a power sport vehicle or something, you know. You take a four-wheeler out to the woods for a good day. Yeah, by the end of the day, you're all jazzed up, but the next day you're remarkably sore. Police said there was no description of the individuals, and as of Friday, the investigation was ongoing. I imagine there's cameras. It happened in New York. Pretty sure there's cameras everywhere, so they should be able to figure something out. Unless they were masked. You know, the left likes to wear masks and cover their faces, especially because they know they want to commit a crime. Antifa, I'm calling you out on that. Bunch of punks. For the most part, I have talked to a few people of Antifa that seemed relatively intelligent, and they understood that there are some that are making the rest look extremely bad. So, as a disclosure, full disclosure, I'll put that out there. I went that day to Trump Plaza to buy the hat to put on my TV, and I wore it just to take it home, Turan said. I had no intentions of wearing in New York City because I think it's dangerous to wear a hat like this in New York City. That's pathetic. That it's dangerous to wear a hat that supports the President of the United States and his message. You can't even do that now because you'll get attacked. And I only see this happening in the big cities, people. I know I've lost a few subscribers, I think, because of my borderline shitting on cities, and I do believe because I came down pretty hard on Tulsi Gabbard for her ignorant Trump comments. People didn't like that. People really did not like when I talked about Tulsi Gabbard in that way. Usually I'm propping her up, but that was a dumb comment. And she didn't have anything to back it up with. She just said the comment. It's like, whoa. If you're going to say that Trump supports Al-Qaeda, you better come back real quick with some factual evidence of this, because that's a huge claim and you shouldn't have said that. Turan said he normally doesn't wear hats. I'm not a hat guy. But yeah. So, where is the outrage that this person of color was attacked by a mob? Why is the media so silent on this? I can tell you the reason. One word: narrative. This does not fit their narrative. This is a person of color presumably a black man, wearing a Make America Great Again hat, attacked. And I bet you he was attacked by white leftists. I would be surprised if it wasn't white leftists. People on the left are saying that white individuals on the right are the biggest threat to this country. White men. It's not the right that you really have to worry about. I will say that when the far right does something, it's usually extremely violent and generally results in the loss of life, which is condemnable to the fullest. That should never happen. And I understand that the left, because that's one of the arguments I've been getting from some of these Antifa members I've been speaking with, is that how many people have Antifa killed? How many people have white nationalists killed? I understand. Y'all may not have killed anybody yet, but you just had a guy in Washington firebomb an ICE facility. What do you think his intentions were if he wasn't taken down? He was trying to kill people. And obviously he wasn't thinking very clearly, because he was firebombing the facility that had the immigrants that he was there to protect in. He put all their lives in danger too. But you can see the escalation. This is where I'm really getting around to, is the escalation from the left is just insanely intense. And it just keeps happening. And the media is not calling it out. They don't call it out at all. They actually take up for Antifa when they're sitting there and blocking city streets and trying to force people to go here, directing traffic and stuff. They don't call them out for that. For some reason, left-wing media and left-wing politicians in these places always try to downplay very serious situations. I mean, we can go all the way back to the Freddie Gray riots that were happening in Baltimore, when the mayor came out and said, well, if some people want to tear things up, we should let them. No, you shouldn't. That's called maintaining order. That's what you are sworn to do. You know, you're going to let mobs of people go out and just do what they want. What kind of leader are you? What kind of community leader are you? You can't just let people get away with this stuff all the time. Whether it's this poor man getting attacked for wearing a hat, an article of clothing that doesn't say anything bad on it. There's no racial connotations. Make America great. Make America great again. Let's do that. Let's be the best. But no, you don't want to see it that way. You want to see it as they try to somehow, in their crazy little 3-celled brain, try to come up with, okay, make America great, make America racist. You know, it's like, what? Where are you coming up with this stuff? That's a hell of a leap from make America great to make America white again. That's pretty much what they've been saying. I don't think anybody really agrees with that, except for a few far out there loony people. And obviously they are part of the loony people because they see that narrative when it doesn't really exist. So when are they going to finally, on the left, when are they going to finally acknowledge that they have a serious problem with violence? Almost fascistic. It's very, very Nazi-esque. When there's groups of people just marauding through the streets looking for a Trump supporter to attack? Come on, man. Everyone needs to tighten up. Everyone's taking everything so seriously nowadays. Stop. Go outside. Get out of the cities, for God's sakes, man. I lived in a city. I know that they can mess up your minds. People aren't supposed to be on top of each other like that. You're not supposed to do that. Cities are supposed to be a place you travel, you commute to for work, and then you leave. It's just not good. It's just not good. But are we going to hear more about this in the media? Probably not. We will be lucky if mainstream media even covers this on like television or something. You probably won't even see. I doubt Fox News will even cover it until maybe Tucker Carlson might. He might, but we'll see. But as always, like, share, subscribe. I will catch you on the flip side.